This is Kozue from Healing Sanctuary.
What is the higher self and why now? In my previous video, I shared a guided experience to help you connect with your higher self, the truest, most radiant version of yourself. Since then, I've received so many beautiful messages. Some of you wrote, "When I connected with my higher self, I felt this warm light surrounding me, and I couldn't stop crying. That deeply moved me, thank you from my heart." At the same time, I also received this important question. What exactly is the higher self? So in this video, I want to gently and clearly explain what the higher self really is, and, most importantly, how you can connect with it in a grounded, meaningful way. When we deepen our connection with the higher self, we gain a sense of peace. We become less reactive, more trusting, and more confident in our daily lives. Many people also find that their intuition strengthens, and they begin to awaken to their true purpose. By watching this video, you'll gain a deeper understanding of this inner guidance and learn how to invite it into your everyday experience. If you're someone who wants to live a more joyful and authentic life, stay with me until the end. What is the higher self? When people hear the term higher self, they often picture something far off, a mystical concept floating somewhere in the universe. Yet your higher self is profoundly relevant to everyday life, right here, right now. It isn't a distant being. It's the purest, most loving part of your soul, already alive within you. Some call it your higher consciousness, and that's true, but let's make it personal. In daily life, we get tangled in emotions, ego, and assumptions. We react in anger, cling to things, and build limiting beliefs about who we think we are. Your higher self remains untouched by all of that, free from fear, attachment, and ego. It is the essence of who you are, the most sacred, elevated part of your soul. You have a body, a mind, and a personality. Yet deep inside, your soul holds a light that is wise, loving, and always present. That light is your higher self. Why do we experience suffering in life? This is one of the most common, and heartfelt, questions I receive. If my higher self is truly guiding and watching over me, then why do painful things still happen? It's a completely valid question. We all move through seasons when our efforts feel unrewarded. When illness strikes, or when painful events unfold that seem entirely beyond our control. So let me share a piece of ancient Japanese wisdom. There's a saying passed down for generations. Let your beloved child go on a journey. Because you love your child, you allow them to face challenges, so they can grow stronger through experience. Your higher self is like that loving parent of your soul. It doesn't send hardship to hurt you. Instead, it allows you to meet certain experiences, even those that feel difficult or unfair, because they support the evolution of your soul. That's why life can feel chaotic or out of control at times. Yet from a higher perspective, it is all part of a bigger plan, your soul's unfolding. Even when you feel lost, you are still being gently guided. What does it feel like to connect with your higher self? So, what does it actually feel like when you're connected with your higher self? For me, the higher self is the one who holds the map of your life. But this map isn't rigid, it doesn't show only one path. Your soul has many possibilities, and your choices shape the future. Still, your higher self lovingly guides you toward your highest potential, like a gentle compass pointing you home. There's a deep sense of peace. Your heart feels warm. Your mind becomes still. You feel fully present, right here, in this moment. In Buddhist philosophy, this state is known as nirvana. In Japanese spirituality, Shinto, we say, human beings are children of the divine. We are born with sacredness already within us. There's also a beautiful teaching in our language. The Japanese word for mirror is kagami. If you drop the character ga, which means ego, what remains is kami, the word for God. So connecting with your higher self isn't about reaching for something outside you, it's about returning to your true nature. When you're connected, you begin to see the essence of things. You realize that everything, people, nature, all life, is deeply interconnected. And that quiet, warm presence you feel, that is your higher self, gently holding you. How is the inner child connected to the higher self? The connection between your inner child and your higher self runs far deeper than most people realize. Let me explain. Imagine this. Your higher self is the most elevated, divine part of your soul. It holds deep wisdom and unconditional love. It sees everything, your past, your present, and even the road ahead, through a broad, compassionate lens. Now picture yourself here in this lifetime, living your human experience. Deep within your subconscious lives your inner child, the part of you that still carries old pain, sadness, and fear, a small, wounded voice that may have been ignored or denied. Like the higher self, your inner child is invisible, yet both dwell within you. From the higher self's perspective, that inner child is your soul's beloved child. Think about it. If that child has been unheard, neglected, or shamed, how would your loving higher self feel? Many people think that connecting with the higher self means you suddenly know everything or gain instant spiritual clarity. But if the child inside is still hurting, still waiting for love, that energy blocks the path. Your higher self rejoices when you turn toward that little one inside. When you offer love, compassion, and tenderness and say, I see you. You didn't deserve that pain. You've been so strong. When your inner child feels seen and held, the pathway to the higher self opens, light flowing through. So remember, you can't bypass your pain and simply jump to the light. You meet the light through the pain, by embracing it with love. Real stories of healing and connection. Let me share a story from someone I've worked with. She had been gently and patiently healing her inner child. One day, she began to sense the presence of her higher self, a soft voice within. When she was suddenly diagnosed with a serious illness that might have required surgery, fear and uncertainty naturally arose. Yet in a moment of stillness, she heard a quiet voice say, You're going to be okay. Those few words brought her deep peace. Her anxiety melted away, and her body began to heal. Eventually, she felt called to guide others, offering sessions to help them connect with their own higher selves. Another person shared, It felt like my heart just cracked open. Light poured in, and I couldn't stop crying. Moments like these aren't reserved for a select few, spiritual, people. They're available to all of us, including you. Because the ability to hear your higher self, to be held in that love and light, already lives within you. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to create space for that connection to grow. The one essential way to connect, purifying your inner space. So how can you deepen your connection with your higher self? The answer is simple, yet powerful. Purify your inner world so the light of your higher self can reach you clearly. Your higher self is light, pure, radiant, loving light. When your inner space is clouded with pain, fear, shame, or old beliefs, that light struggles to reach you. But as you cleanse and clear that space, the light flows in, gently, naturally, beautifully. So how do we do this? There are 3 kinds of purification that open the path. 1. Purifying the heart. Healing the inner child. Let's begin with the heart. Each of us carries emotional imprints deep within. Beliefs or memories we may not even realize are there. Things like, I'm not lovable. I don't matter. No matter what I do, it's never enough. These aren't just thoughts. They're the silent cries of your inner child, the part of you that once felt rejected, overlooked, or compared to others. Those emotions, hurt, loneliness, anger, often remain buried, unresolved. And yet, even now, that little one inside is still whispering, hoping you'll finally listen. Heart purification begins with listening. Sit quietly and say, "I hear you. That must have been so painful. You've been so strong." Offer warmth and compassion to the parts of yourself you usually hide or silence. If those emotional wounds remain unhealed, they act like foggy glass, blocking the light of your higher self from shining through. But when you bring love to those wounds, light begins to slip in. Healing the inner child is not merely emotional work, it's a sacred doorway, one of the most direct paths to connecting with your higher self. Now, let's move on to the second form of purification, the body. 2. Purifying the body. Moving with awareness. Now let's talk about the body. Did you know your body holds on to emotions, even ones you thought you'd already processed? Feelings such as anger, sadness, fear, or anxiety often settle in specific areas as tension or heaviness. You might notice tightness in your chest, heaviness in your stomach, or stiffness in your back that won't go away. These sensations can signal that emotional energy is still lingering in your body. Healing isn't just about the heart or mind, your body needs care and release too. But not through forced movement or mechanical exercise. What helps is gentle, intentional movement, done with presence. Practices like breath-based movement, gentle yoga, free-form dance, or simply shaking out tension. The key is to move with awareness. Notice. This area feels tight. Tears are coming up. I realize I've been holding anger here. When you let your body speak, you give it a chance to release what it has carried for years. The body is the voice of the subconscious. By moving with feeling, you unlock and clear old emotional blockages, softening the path to your higher self. 3. Purifying the spirit. Prayer, meditation, and gratitude. And now we come to the purification of the spirit. This is about gently quieting your inner world, bringing your thoughts, energy, and attention back into stillness. Most of us are constantly thinking, worrying about tomorrow, replaying the past, and trying to figure everything out. But the voice of the higher self can be heard only in silence. That's why spiritual purification isn't about doing more, it's about softening, surrendering, and becoming present. You can do this through quiet meditation, heartfelt prayer, or simply reflecting on your day with gratitude. Personally, I begin each morning by offering traditional Japanese Norito sacred Shinto prayers or softly chanting divine mantras. It isn't about ritual or religion, it's a practice to return my heart to stillness. Another beautiful form of spiritual cleansing is selfless service, offering kindness to others without expecting anything in return. Because every act of love clears the space between you and your higher self. Here's the truth. You don't need a special moment, a perfect mood, or a magical sign to connect. You need only to be fully present, here and now. The most important thing, your state of being. So, how are you feeling? Can you sense a deeper connection with your higher self taking shape? Before we close, there's one final truth I want to share, and it may be the most important of all. The goal isn't merely to connect with your higher self. The real essence is becoming your higher self, in how you live, how you love, how you show up each day. When you choose peace over reaction. When you speak with kindness. When you embrace your inner child with tenderness. In those moments you are already aligned with your higher self. Because the light, the love, and the wisdom of your higher self are not somewhere far away. They live within you, expressed through your very way of being. So keep going. Take small steps each day to purify your heart, body, and spirit. and let your presence become the light this world so deeply needs. To you, who are already living with the light, your higher self is not something you must go out and find. It is already within you. You don't need to chase after answers. Everything you seek is waiting in the quiet center of your heart. That quiet love, that stillness, that inner glow. That is your higher self. Please keep walking forward with that light, and remember, you are not alone. Spreading healing and love, one heart at a time. If you feel inspired, subscribe and become part of this space. Let's continue cleansing, gently and steadily, and bring the love and light of our higher selves into the world. Arigato.